a fine for that. And my father was so angry.
Another young woman spoke to us from her home in southeast Tehran. We've altered the audio to conceal her identity.
The situation is so ridiculously messed up that they are literally checking people's phones. The people that are passing by in the street could be arrested and prosecuted. I have had friends that were arrested. I have had friends that were threatened to stay silent or they will be prosecuted. I have had friends that had to literally run for their lives from the hands of the cops that right now are trying to suppress them. I want this government gone because I want to live like a normal human being with human rights, with the rights to express myself without the fear of literally being killed.
In all our interviews, there's one common message.
Women and men are being killed in the streets. Islamic Republic is not equal to Iran. We are Iran. They are Islamic Republic.
Human rights groups say that more than 100 protesters have been killed by security forces. Among them is 16-year-old Nika Shakarami. Her disturbing death created more fear and more outrage. In a heartbreaking message on Nika's birthday, her mother called her a martyr.
Today was your birthday, my love. I want to congratulate you on becoming a martyr, Nika. Congratulations on becoming a martyr.
Iranian women who've been forced into exile across the world by the regime's policies poured out their hearts to us in dozens of emails.
Every day it's like waking up to a battle no matter where we live. It's the 21st century, and other people don't understand the horror and instability Iranians face on a daily basis.
You have stolen our peace for 4 decades. Return Iran to its people. We urge you, leave our people alone.
For as long as I remember, I wanted to be a boy. I even asked my mom to cut my hair. I wanted to be a boy because girls are not allowed to sing, to dance, to laugh loudly, to be happy, to exist.
I was walking in the streets of Tehran with my friends. I was arrested for wearing a V-neck t-shirt under my long coat. There was no way out. We had all been abducted by the morality police.
The protests have sparked a global backlash, with millions standing in fierce support. Women leaders from every walk of life, from French actresses to Belgian lawmakers cutting their hair in solidarity. But for the Iranian diaspora, it's brought back haunting memories and sparked fear for family back home.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Just remembering all the pain and guilt and everything just made me emotional. I'm so sorry. Give me a second. And it's still going on. You know, very simple, easy things that is very normal in all parts of the world. It's a no-no thing in Iran for everyone, for young people, for kids. They could be punished for it. It's so painful. And when I remember what we went through, and still I have 2 nieces, 2 young nieces in Iran, and when I feel like they have to go through what I went through, it's very painful.
New details have been revealed in an ongoing FBI probe of Hunter Biden. Laura Barone-Lopez breaks down what we know and what we don't know about the investigation.
That's right, Anna. The Washington Post, among others, has reported that federal investigators believe they have enough evidence to charge the president's son, Hunter Biden, with tax crimes and making a false statement related to a gun purchase. Investigators sent their findings to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware, where a prosecutor will decide whether to pursue criminal charges. Washington Post reporter Devlin Barrett broke the story yesterday, and he joins us now. Devlin, thanks for being here. Hunter Biden has been the subject of scrutiny on the right for a long time. Bring us up to speed on why agents are looking into him and what got us to this moment.
So this investigation began about 4 years ago, and it stayed under wraps for a long time, but it sort of burst into public view in a very unusual way just before the 2020 election, when Republican operatives and advocates started talking about a found laptop and Hunter Biden emails that were on it. And ever since then, it's been an intense political debate as to whether Hunter Biden did anything wrong. And all the while, an investigation has been quietly going on. And what we now know is that the federal agents who've been doing that investigation have reached the point where they believe they have enough evidence to charge Hunter Biden with income tax crimes and a possible gun charge.
And on the tax crimes, it's focused solely on him not reporting all of his income?
Right. So one of the big areas that the investigation looked at was, did he report all of his income from his various business deals that were also in the mix of this investigation at different points? And so what they've come to the conclusion of is that, in fact, he did not report some of that income, but there has not been a charging decision yet. This is what the agents have found, but it's up to prosecutors to decide whether to file charges.
And we know about this because there was a leak. I mean, have there been leaks like this before, and where charges have ultimately never materialized, or is it pretty much a foregone conclusion that he will be charged?
I don't think anything's a foregone conclusion. And I think in many investigations, particularly investigations of high-profile people, reporters find out parts and bits of information along the way. There's still some things we don't know, and those are important. But I also think this is an interesting and important moment in this investigation that's been going on so long, because now it's very clear that the decision has to be made.
I asked the White House today for comment on the case, and of course they're not commenting. They say that this is an ongoing investigation, and that's the way they've been treating a lot of investigations, even the ones concerning former President Trump. But how is Attorney General Merrick Garland responding to this?
So Garland, even before he became the Attorney General, he was under pressure from Republicans to appoint a special counsel to handle this on the theory and the accusation that a Democratic administration couldn't fairly investigate the son of the sitting Democratic president. And what Garland has said and keeps saying when he's asked in public is that he has tapped a Trump appointee prosecutor, a holdover from the last administration, to run and supervise this investigation.
David Weiss.
And the case will stay, and he will remain supervising this case. And Garland, has vowed not to interfere, not to allow any interference with that work. And that's where things stand now.
And so can you explain what would ultimately happen? In your report, you say that eventually criminal tax charges have to go through the Justice Department.
Right. So one of the quirks of how the Justice Department works is that if you are going to file criminal charges as opposed to civil charges, criminal charges have to be approved when it comes to tax cases by main justice, by Justice Department headquarters. So that's sort of a bit of a quirk in this process. And we have yet to see how that may affect or not affect the ultimate outcome of this case. But that's a key distinction that is not true for other types of criminal investigations.
And Republicans have been fixated on Hunter Biden's name for a while and his business dealings, and have in some cases tried to create this equivalency between investigations into him and investigations into former President Trump. How is the Justice Department, main justice as we call it, is dealing with that, navigating it?
So it's been a headache from day one. It's been a headache before even Attorney General Merrick Garland took on that job. And it's basically in some ways the very first test Garland had. He's had a few big political tests. One of them is the Hunter Biden case. The other is the January 6th case. And now we have the Mar-a-Lago investigation. All of these things sort of raise questions about, can this Justice Department fairly investigate a politically sensitive case? And one of the big questions that this case raises is, if and when the Justice Department reaches its conclusions, will it change anyone's mind? Because politically, people have been arguing about Hunter Biden for years now. Will the Justice Department set
오클라호마에서 좌회전입니다. 좌회전입니다. 그 다음에 목적지가 왼쪽에 있습니다. 목적지가 왼쪽에 있습니다.